We got a new Bill and Ted movie coming out this weekend, so of course, I gotta do something Bill and Ted related. My body is thrilled that I don't have the 30-year-old Bill and Ted cereal to try out. But don't get too excited, stomach. I do have a can of Tab Clear headed my way. Ah yes, this will do. The Bill and Ted animated series called Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventures. I don't have to eat that at all. Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventures was a CBS Saturday morning cartoon series developed by Gordon Kent, a writer on the shows Bonkers and Tasmania, plus produced by David Kirshner, a producer on all kinds of things, from the Child's Play series to An American Tail to, yes, Puchinsky. The animated series featured returning cast members Alex Winter, Keanu Reeves, and George Carlin. At least, all of this is true for the first season. More on that later. The series was like a modern 1990 Peabody and Sherman, where our boys interact with all kinds of figures throughout history, from Julius Caesar to Thomas Edison, and to Marco Polo in the pilot. Thankfully, we have an opening that sums things up if you haven't seen the movie.
I was to help fulfill the destiny of the two great ones.
Whenever time stands still.
Yes, I was there in 1990. I remember when this song changed the world for the better. It was no biggie back in the day to rock out in your garage and fight dinosaurs and pirates.
Bill and Ted's Most Excellent Adventures.
Most triumphant!
Yes, I agree. It was worth waking up early on a Saturday morning for this. At least if you ask me. If you ask my dad, he might say something different. The pilot is called One Sweet and Sour Chinese Adventure to Go. Excellent. Clearly, it's all going to be about pizza and Italy. Bill and Ted rock so hard they even blow the feathers off of a bird. So that's definitely Missy, Bill's stepmom, but is that his dad? That doesn't look like his dad at all. This guy looks the same age as Bill. He looks like someone waiting for YouTube to get invented so he can get angry about the episode's title. When he yells at Bill to keep the music down, it feels more like he's his lame roommate. The dialogue here is easy though. When in doubt, just have them say some form of the word excellent.
This stuff is so loud, people can hear you in Australia. Excellent, mate!
And just like in the movie, they gotta check out Dad Ass. It's an excellent will they won't they for our boys and Bill's stepmom. I think they could probably already get famous. They can physically move things with their music. Look, they broke Missy's Chinese vase. So obviously they need the phone booth to go back in time to ask Tom Cruise how he saved the egg statue in Risky Business.
This is indeed a most heinous turn of events.
I'm not sure if this drama is so severe that it needed a commercial break. When there's no vases at the Circle K, obviously Plan B is to go back to ancient China. At least they didn't lose Screech's dog in a poker match when that group accidentally broke an Elvis statue. And see, I told you this was about pizza.
So while I was here, I thought I'd pick up one of your pizzas. In the 27th century, there's no such thing as thick crust.
I don't think Chicago would ever let that happen. There goes the pizza plot line, I guess, as our boys are in China 1295 AD. Can't you tell?
Hey, old ancient Asian dude.
I hope the new Bill and Ted movie is this exact same script. It seems to be going fine so far. Sure, they find a vase shop. This guy yells at me for not saying vase. And then end up breaking shit, and somehow the butterfly effect is gonna cause the Waterloo Water Park to no longer exist because of this event. Look fellas, maybe you should have just gone vase shopping at the San Dimas Mall.
Man, if my dad finds out that I have been sentenced to really hard Chinese labor, he'll kill me.
Well, I found my next Halloween costume. The important thing is that it is historically accurate, as now we all know that Bill and Ted built the Great Wall of China in only 2 days. Things weren't that much different back then. Look at the Chinese restaurant they go to.
I do not know if you have what I want, but it is my favorite at the Chinese restaurant near our house in San Dimas. It's called a number 10.
They are the reason we now have takeout Chinese boxes. Never mind rock and roll, they invented my Saturday night. Though things can't quite be this easy, The phone booth must be stolen, and the boys gotta be kidnapped and taken somewhere terrible with title card humor.
But I would say we are somewhere in the middle of the China Sea, 1295 AD.
Excellent.
And that was the time Bill and Ted made the most of being forced into slave labor on board Marco Polo's ship.
Morning, Captain.
Awake, awake, and so I am awake, and you boys are in bed tonight. No.
Marco Polo, by the way, very shticky, as we all know. I love that through all of this, Bill and Ted are consistently happy, making the most out of their heinous situation. Sure, they're thrown overboard and a shark is after them, but they still got their number 10 to go. Even though the phone booth does work underwater, this is not going to be good for the king awaiting the arrival of Marco Polo. See? I was right. It is also about Italy. You thought I was joking.
Then he was bringing the rice. Shoot, we just happened to serve the potatoes instead.
This news is troublesome for King Phil Hartman. It was probably fun to be in the writer's room for this show. The series is almost like an early version of Beavis and Butthead, where the story starts out simple and escalates very quickly. I love any story that opens with two people just simply needing to replace a vase, and then ending up saving Marco Polo and giving Chinese takeout to the king and his dog named Spaghetti, where Marco Polo happily replaces the vase and all is well.
I think you should go ahead to the left, dude.
Okay, so this whole story was just wildly unnecessary. Oh, but it is necessary. It's all about how Bill and Ted figured out how to use headphones so that the sound waves would stop breaking things. Although that just made everything worse. Better, worse. Bill and Ted would still be happy about it regardless. Season 1 of the Bill and Ted animated series was a fun continuation that kept the tone and humor of the movie, the likability of the leads, which of course was helped by the fact that Alex Winter and Keanu Reeves still did the voices. Yeah, that's nice and all, but how do we mess that up? Hanna-Barbera produced the first season of the show, but by the time the second season came around in 1991, the show switched companies and networks. Season 2 was produced by Deke Animation City, where I'm guessing you're gonna get a much more Meet the Deedles vibe, considering Deke produced that film. Season 2 also switched over to Fox Kids, and Andy Hayward took over as producer. He was behind the Where's Waldo series, Super Mario World, and Captain N. One very notable change was that Alex Winter and Keanu Reeves were replaced as Bill and Ted by Evan Richards and Christopher Kennedy, largely because Fox was developing a live-action Bill and Ted series, which Richards and Kennedy also starred in. And that sort of makes the animated series like this weird connect-the-dots bridge between the movie and the live-action series. Viewers didn't warm up to the changes made in Season 2, which lessened the time travel and had Bill and Ted go into TV series as well as the human body. So the show was canceled after only 8 Season 2 episodes and 21 episodes as a whole. But did the live-action series turn out to be a success? Well, I can't talk about that now. I mean, I can talk about it now. I just don't want to. I'll talk about it tomorrow.